You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, just straight up. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That was a great fight card. That shit wasn't boring. That shit wasn't trash. Uh, it wasn't underwhelming or nothing. You dig? Maybe the Jarrell Miller fight could have been better because it's two big dudes, pause, heavyweights. Other than that, that was a dope fight card. That shit was lit, bro. I fucks with that. Because I know there's going to be some hate motherfuckers saying it was boring. Nah, that shit wasn't boring. Is you just saying that because the fighter you was rooting for lost. You know how this shit go. These hate motherfuckers get on here with that bullshit. They talk that shit. That was a great card. If you were a true boxing fan and you didn't enjoy this, you're a casual. You're not a real boxing fan. This shit was dope. What up? This was a great fight card, nigga. This shit went down. Great matchups, great performances. I don't give a fuck. People can hate. Wasn't nothing boring about this shit. This shit was not lackluster. This shit was on point. Boxing. Shakur Stevenson. Oh my God. Now, I said I favored Shakur to win, right? I know y'all listen to my other videos. I said I favor Shakur, but anything can happen. It is boxing, right? That's a fact. Shout out to Boxing 9741. That's all facts. You already know. That fight played out exactly how I said it was going to play out. Now, remember, I'm the guy they claim that don't know boxing, but I correctly broke down that fight on my other video. I told you, Teofimo is an athletic fighter. He uses his athletic and explosiveness to get in and land shots on you. Shakur's defense is top notch. He's going to have something waiting on him when he tries that. And what happened? None of that shit worked. He doesn't jab. He doesn't jab. And his defense ain't the best. He's an athletic guy. He relies on athleticism and explosiveness. That style only works on guys that just want to come forward and punch. Guys that are fundamentally sound, like a Shakur, you're going to have a hard time fighting and beating guys like that. You dig? That fight played exactly how I thought it was going to play out. Watch that boy. I had that shit 12-0. Well, nah, I'm going to be generous. I think that round when Tio was doing some body work, I'll be nice and say he won that round. That's fine. 11-1. But dude, he washed that dude, bro. Washed him. See, we're seeing some legendary shit. In the past 5 months, we've seen some legendary shit. We saw what Crawford did to Canelo, right? And then we're seeing what Shakur did to Tio. Like, that shit was crazy, bro. Like, he had no answer. See, the same thing that happened to Tio is the same thing that happened to Canelo. No disrespect, same thing. That power and pressure shit is not working. You have no plan B. You don't know what to do. You get your head boxed off. And Shakur was coming forward. So you can't say it was a boring fight. You cannot say Shakur was boring because, first of all, a fight can't be boring if a guy's coming forward. Because if a guy's coming forward, then that means you're going to be on the edge of your seat because he's coming forward. You don't know what's going to happen next. He might land a big shot or he might fuck around and get hit with some shit. So you can't say a fighter that's coming forward the whole fight is boring. So if they say Shakur was boring, you know them hating motherfuckers. They gonna say that bullshit. That's cap. You dig? Wasn't nothing boring, bro. That was a masterful performance. I told you guys, fighters that know how to fight and move, the versatile fighters that know how to back up and come forward and fight, jab, all the fundamentals, defense on point, those guys are hard to beat. You have an easier time fighting guys that just want to throw punches and come forward. Those guys are easier to beat. Those are the only guys that T.O. can dominate. You dig? All the other fights he had where he fought guys that were moving, people felt he lost those fights. Don't people say that they felt he lost to Ortiz? Some people felt he lost the Loma fight. And speaking of Ortiz, hold up, what's up? They mention your name right now, Solidus, on IBFP. I can tell IBF Nuke was biting his tongue because you picked the fight right. Well, what was said? You can let me know as I go on, if you don't mind. But yeah, speaking of Jermaine Ortiz, I picked that. I knew Keyshawn was going to win because Jermaine Ortiz is good. Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter, but he ain't fucking with no Keyshawn Davis. That's obvious. And I knew Keyshawn gonna watch that nigga. People got to understand, bro. Keyshawn is an Olympian, bro. He knows what he's doing, bro. I knew he was gonna watch that nigga. Right after the second round, I was thinking to myself, Keyshawn finna do this nigga, bro. He can't hit him. The movement's not working. Keyshawn, again, these guys have fundamentals out this world. Guys like Keyshawn, Shakur Stevenson, Dimitri Bivol, Terrence Crawford, well, he's retired. Even Inoue, Devin Haney, Boots. These are fundamentally sound fighters. These guys are going to be hard to beat. I don't think they're going to lose, but these guys are hard to beat. It's hard to beat guys like that, bro. Nigga, Keyshawn washed Ortiz. First man to stop Jermaine Ortiz, Keyshawn Davis. That's probably, behind the T.O. shit, that's probably the biggest win. All these fights were win. Well, Bruce Carrington did to Castro was a great win. You saw how he pieced up Carlos Castro? Put that motherfucker down like a sick dog. Fuck out of here. And that dude was actually pretty good. I ain't gonna cap. Mexican dude was all right, but he got his ass dropped like everybody else. This was a great night of boxing, bro. I don't give anybody come up here and say this shit was boring. That's hater shit, bro. I ain't respecting that. We keeping it one, nigga. That was a great fight. Shakur Stevenson, generational talent. I'm willing to go as far as to say he's the pound for pound #1 fighter right now. I'm willing to go as far as to say that. You know what I'm saying? I understand you got Usyk and Inoue out there. I'm fucking with Shakur. I've been fucking with Shakur, though. Everybody know that. Inoue and Usyk are up there. Those are the two guys because Crawford retired. Nigga, Shakur is up there. That nigga went to 140, right? When he probably should have stayed at 135, but he went to 140 and fought the guy with the Ring Magazine and WBO belt, took his shit, just like Haney did Norman Jr. These niggas is making history, bro. Bruce Carrington won his first belt in New York, and it was a knockout win. Like, shit is lit, bro. That was that card. This was a great fight card, bro. I might have to lash out at some people that if I hear anybody on these panels saying this shit's boring, I might have to hop on these panels and lash out. I'm gonna keep it real. Cause that's just straight hater shit. And y'all know how I get down. I go after the haters. Some of that shit I let slide, but every now and then I go in. What's good right here? They were trying to make their jokes as usual. Solid as super chats, but instead Nuke bit his tongue and didn't say ish about it. Make no mistake though, Solid, it's Nuke a snake. He will try to find something eventually. All right. Solid is, to be honest, I don't know about Shakur being #1, but he definitely really good. Also, Shakur not that big if he keep going up in weight. I think he gonna stay at 140. Yeah, if he can get another big fight, he probably gonna stay there. Like, why not? Why drop that extra 5 pounds? Keep that shit. As far as him being #1 pound for pound, shit, you got Inoue and Usyk in the way, but shit, Shakur is just as good as those guys. So I'll just say he's definitely on their level. But that shit was a masterclass, bro. He made T.O. look basic as hell. Like, nigga, you can't do shit. You ain't fighting no slow-ass Arnold Barboza. That bullshit-ass fighting style. Just try to come forward and throw punches. No versatility. You ain't fighting that. You fighting a nigga that got fundamentals. What's happening? Can't do nothing with him. Can't do nothing with him. It's funny because this fight, low-key, kind of mirrored what happened to Canelo. It's the same thing. Canelo thought he was going to be able to walk Crawford down and use pressure, and it didn't work. And then he had no answer. Fast forward, this fight right here, that athletic shit, trying to just run in on Shakur, thinking you're going to just be able to do that and land them big power shots. No, Shakur had a jab waiting for him, had an answer for everything he did. And he was walking him down while doing this shit. And T.O. had no answer. He didn't know what to do. He had no other tactics to use, none of that shit. No versatility. Like, I told you, bro, it's all about fundamentals. People talking about they want to see knockouts and they don't appreciate actual boxing. That's casual talk. Real boxing fans are not going around saying the fight's boring because wasn't no knockout. That's casual talk. Casuals run this shit. That shit was a masterful performance, bro. Now, I'm not trying to race bait, but I'm keeping it real. Once again, we dominate. Once again, black excellence dominates. Once again. I know they're going to say, oh, well, Shakur is Puerto Rican, whatever. He represents Puerto Rico. That's cap. He is Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican, but everybody knows he identifies himself as a black guy. Because I know they're going to say that bullshit. What up? What up? You ain't get a chance to watch the fight? Oh shit! They're gonna have the fights uploaded on YouTube, but you missed out. Motherfuckers was lit. You missed out. That Shakur fight was lit. Straight wash T.O. Dominated that boy. Got him the fuck up out of there. Bruce Carrington. Carlos Castro put up a good fight. He had some moments, but Bruce settled in. Shu York got him the fuck up out of there. And then Keyshawn, exactly what I thought. He's going to school Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz going to put up a good challenge, but Keyshawn going to get to him, and that's what happened. First nigga to stop Jermaine Ortiz. This shit is facts, bro. Yeah, you need to watch the when they upload the fights on YouTube, check them shits out. Them shits was dope when you got time. Because you missed out. Some great boxing. Some great boxing. Exactly. That was a huge win for Keyshawn. You're right. Ortiz did look bigger, and that shit didn't even matter. Keyshawn pressed him the whole fight and then stopped him. He dropped him with a body shot. Then he said, let me get you again. And then he stopped his ass again later. Huge win for Keyshawn Davis. Shout out to Keyshawn Davis, bro. All that drama and people saying that, because you know people love to kick you when you down or you do something dumb or you do something that ain't cool. And then you'll try to like make it right and then people just still shit on you. That's kind of what they did to him. Not excusing what he did, because what he did was some bullshit. So I kind of get why people did that. But he bounced back. Huge win for Keyshawn Davis. Huge win. Huge win. If Shakur was bigger, I think Shakur might have KO'd T.O. Shit, he could have did that. Solid, is this becoming kind of true that Canelo was ducking slick black fighters? It is what it is, you know. When Canelo fought guys like that, he took L's, you know. So, you know, it's what it is. I saw your Wolves play, though. They getting back to themselves again. Oh, yeah. You know, we had that 5-game losing streak. You know, shit was kind of like, you know, it's a long season. Nothing's perfect. I predict that's going to happen because every team has that issue. Because I remember a few weeks ago, the Rockets were losing games. The Lakers had lost some key games a few weeks ago, and everybody was talking about them. So most of the time it happens. If you're able to just play a whole 82-game season and just never have losing streaks, then more power to you. But these things happen. But no, my Wolves is in effect. We coming. We coming. Anthony Edwards, the new Kobe. We got this shit. Nigga, we going back to the Western Conference Finals. This time we going to the finals. We got that experience now. We battle tested. So yeah, man, my Timberwolves be coming back. We good. Like I said, Ant-Man holding it down. Yeah, bro, people were getting ready to shit on Keyshawn. Facts, the season is long, too long, if you ask me. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to get this shit right, though. Imagine if it becomes NFL and NBA and boxing, Solidus, if you know what I mean, bro. Yeah, I know, I know what you mean. Good one. Shout out to Xander Zayas for a great unification fight. That's a fact. Xander did really well tonight. I like Xander. I think Xander gonna do some damage. I like Xander. That was a great win right there. He unified. That's what's up. Xander Zayas definitely gets a shout out. I was going to speak on that before you said it. So good looking on that. But nah, Xander did his thing. I like Xander Zayas. One of my favorite fighters. Xander Zayas holding it down. So yeah, that's what's up. I have y'all representing the Western Conference versus the Pistons. I hope so. I hope it's the Wolves. It's just time for us to win, bro. We got Anthony, like I said, Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, is a top 3 player in the league. He's this generation's Kobe, Michael Jordan type player. Like, I hope we go to the finals this year. I really do. Like, we've had deep playoff runs multiple years in a row. We know what it's like. I just feel like this is the year we break through. I don't know what's going to happen at the trade deadline. I guess I'll find out. But I got a feeling it's going to be the year. Because I feel like in the 7-game series, nobody can beat us. I really believe we'll get them. Regardless of what happens in the regular season, I really believe in the playoffs, I think we can get the Lakers. We can get the Rockets. We can get the Spurs. We can get the Nuggets. We can get the Thunder. You know, the Spurs. We can get these dudes. You know, so I really hope that happens. All right, that's what's up. Fucking with tennis. All right. But yeah, man, this was a great fight card, man. Nah, that's what's up. See, the thing is, E97774. The thing is, I'm not anti-Latino. The problem is Latino boxing fans are always going out their way to talk down on black fighters, like black fighters ain't shit. And they don't want to accept the fact that the best fighters are the black fighters, bro. It just is what it is, bro. I know Latinos want to be the best, but the reality is the blacks are the best. And I don't like how on these boxing panels, these Latino guys come on here, and for whatever reason, they have this thing where they just want to constantly talk down on black fighters this, all these excuses, don't want to give credit and shit. They're calling black people race fans because they root for their fighters, but then the Latinos do the same thing. So you're criticizing me for something you do. You're a pro-Latino, right? But you're mad at me for being pro-black when it comes to like fighters we root for. I don't respect that shit. That's why I'm always talking shit about Latinos. It's more of a retaliation thing. It's not necessarily I just want to diss Latinos. It's not even that. You dig what I'm saying? So I feel like y'all get it twisted. Cause y'all always do that. Y'all always do that for whatever reason. Like, example, Josh Kelly beat Bakum earlier today, Murdazaliev. That has nothing to do with Jaron Ennis. I sat here and went on listened to a panel, and there's Latino guys on there bringing up Boots, saying negative things about Boots when Boots got nothing to do with that fight. See, little bullshit like that. Like, they're always finding ways to hate on black fighters. I don't respect that shit. So, and I'm not afraid to speak out against that shit. So it's a retaliation thing. But you guys want to play these little games and make it seem like niggas just attacking Latinos. Don't nobody got to do that. Because I already told y'all, in real life and in general, black people are not worried about Latino people. We're not worried about y'all. Y'all are on our dicks. We're not worried about y'all. And that's just facts. That's just facts. We're not worried about y'all. For real. Only time we tap in is when we're trying to smash on a Latino chick. Other than that, we're not worried or thinking about no Latino people. Y'all are always coming at us, talking down on us, making fun of Black history and all these little jokes y'all be coming up with, calling black people moon crickets and saying go back to Wakanda. Y'all be doing that bullshit. Then when we retaliate, y'all say that bullshit. We're racist, all this race fan shit. That's all it is. Then the good Mexicans that don't be on that bullshit, they're outnumbered by the ones that do be on that bullshit, or the Latinos. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's a retaliation thing. So, and that's what it is. Just like your buddy IBFP, you know what goes on over there is bullshit, but you fuck with that bullshit. So you're going to defend that bullshit, but you know what goes on over there is bullshit. You dig? You know what goes on over there. It's some bullshit. You know them niggas is always hating on black fighters. They act like Latino fighters are the greatest fighters in the world when that's not true. Always talking down on black fighters. Always complaining. Saying little bullshit racist shit. Then when we say something that's kind of like big up in the black person, oh, you're pro-black, you're a race fan. But then I sit here and let you talk, you're doing the same shit. You're being a race fan. You're rooting for the Mexican guy. You don't even give a fuck that the black fighter is better. You just want to see the Mexican guy win. Like tonight, all the black fighters beat the Latino fighters that fought on the card. You know Latinos are going to be talking shit about that and coming up with excuses. You know they don't like that. Now, a real Latino, he going to salute that shit. So we keeping it real. Because you already know, I guarantee you, it's going to be Latinos saying, oh, Shakur Stevenson's still a boring fighter. He's still a boring fighter. They're only saying that because they're mad that he beat T.O. You know that. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And then remember, David Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters. He's a Latino dude. I'm over there arguing and defending this nigga like I'm his manager. You would think I'm David Benavidez's manager. If you heard me, I had to defend, and he's a Latino guy. So I wouldn't do that if I was anti-Latino. So when they say that bullshit about me, that's cap. That's cap. No. There's real Mexicans out here, so it's not all Hispanics doing that. I know some real solid Hispanics. They don't be on that black versus brown shit. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that are. Because I'm telling you guys, bro, black people are not worried about Latinos. We literally go through life not worried or thinking about them. It's the other way around. Like I said earlier, the only time we tap in with the Latino culture is when we're messing with a Latino chick, like dating a Latin girl or something, or I'm about to go fuck this Mexican girl. Other than that, we're not tripping off them like that. They're coming at us. Motherfuckers be talking shit about us, insulting us and shit. Talking about we going to get deported when ICE is done with the other people. Like, what type of shit is that? Ain't nobody black saying that to them. Now, I'm supposed to be talking about boxing, but I've ventured off into something else because of what dude said in the chat. But hey, this is a raw and uncut channel, though, so we do that. But no, there's real Mexicans that don't be on that shit, though. Those are the Mexicans I fuck with. And that's who fuck with me. So when they hear me talk like this, they ain't offended. They ain't tripping. They fuck with this. They know I ain't talking about them. So that's all it is. Everything is good. So I know that's in the title, but at the same time, shout out to the Latinos. You dig? The good, the real Latinos, not the haters, the real good Latinos. We fucking with them. And what has Crawford done to move funny, bro? Exactly. Great question. He ain't done nothing to move funny. You're just mad that he beat Canelo. That's why you're saying all that crazy shit. Them IBFP guys. That's all. Latinos be jealous as hell. There you go. He could have gave Lester Martinez a title shot, but retired instead. Now he campaigning for him. Like, that's weak shit. You hear that? That's not something to be up. That's not something that would warrant discrediting him. That's cap. There's no way that situation would make you want to discredit Crawford. I'm calling cap on that. Yeah. There's no coincidence that all the black fighters that fought another race won tonight. That's a fact. They're the real race fans, Solid. It's IBFP and other new channels. Yeah, y'all know what time IBFP is on? He's probably live right now saying some bullshit about the fights tonight. I bet you. If anybody is going back and forth between my panel and my channel and his, I'm pretty sure if you're honest, you'll tell me he's over there saying some bullshit. I'm a take a guess. I bet you he said, or let me see. What's the top 3 things he likes to say? I bet you he's saying shit like, Shakur is boring. I bet you he's saying something like that. Or some other hater type shit, I bet you. Or I bet you he's making jokes, trying to come at people sideways because fighters that he wanted to win lost. I bet you. That's how he get down. Y'all can let me know if he's doing that, because y'all know I ain't listening to that fuck ass nigga talk. Yeah. Then you said Andre Ward ducked the Russians and Adonis Stevenson's. Crawford took a page out of his book. See, that's what I'm saying. That type of stuff right there. You obviously are nitpicking saying that. This man, Andre Ward, said he was going to retire 2 years before he actually retired. His body was breaking down. He made that perfectly clear, and he said that's why he retired. You say fuck all that and say he retired because he's ducking Bivol and Beterbiev and Adonis Stevenson. That's what you're saying. So you don't even care about what he's saying. He's the actual fighter, but somehow you're more knowledgeable you're more knowledgeable than him on why he actually retired. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with that Canelo shit. Canelo said in multiple interviews he don't want to fight Benavidez because he brings nothing to the fight but 25 pounds. He's too big for him, right? He didn't say nothing about Benavidez, didn't activate his mandatory. That's why he's not fighting. Canelo, the fighter, is saying that. But you IBFP guys somehow are more knowledgeable about why they didn't fight than actual Canelo, and he's the actual fighter. You see how they don't make sense? You see what I'm saying? Just get on here and just say whatever. That's what I'm saying. That don't make no sense, bro. Somehow these guys on the internet know more about what's going on than the actual fighters. I find that hard to believe. This man, Andre Ward, said he retired because his body was breaking down, and that was his last fight with Kovalev. He was getting his knees drained before the fight. This is all documented. That's why he retired. You don't even care about that. You're disregarding that and saying he retired because he didn't want to fight Bivol Maturbiev. Like, come on, bro. You don't even believe that shit. You just don't like Andre Ward. So you're on some hater shit. You don't believe that shit. Nah, you capping. You don't believe that shit. Yeah, it's just on some hater shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know how these niggas is, man. You said Canelo been through injuries and still selling out. That's because he's Mexican. Mexican have the biggest fan base in boxing. Mexicans are going to support other Mexicans. For that reason, the money's going to pile up. That's the only reason why that dude's the face of boxing. It's just how that works. Are you going to tell me Canelo's the most talented boxer? No. You're capping if you say that. Thank God for the Mexicans. Mexicans support Mexicans in boxing, so they're going to spend money on the fights. That money adds up. Next thing you know, there's a sellout. And Canelo has that. He has the backing of the Mexican fan base. That's the only reason why that dude is the face or the cash cow of boxing. That's all it is. It's off the back of the support of Mexicans. It's not like, oh, he's such a great fighter, I just got to watch him fight. No, it was never that. It just is what it is, bro. I'm all off topic, but shit, who gives a fuck? It is what it is. You know how we do it over here. Talk about all that shit. But yeah, man, that was a great fight card, man. When they do the uploads, for those that missed it, y'all gotta watch that shit. That shit was lit. Shakur Stevenson dominated Teofimo Lopez. He made that shit look easy. When you think a fighter like Teo, now, to be fair, Teo is still a great fighter. I'm not going to get up here and talk shit about him and act like he's garbage. He's not garbage. He's still a great fighter. He should be all right. You know, it's only 2 losses. It ain't like he got 8 or 9 losses. He should be all right. You know, I don't know who he's going to fight next, but Teo was still good. He just ain't on that level of a Shakur Stevenson. And that was proven. People should have already knew that, but it was proven tonight. But nah, he's straight. You know, back to the drawing board. He be all right. You know, I ain't gonna be talking shit about him, calling him trash. Nah, I ain't with that shit. You know, I ain't gonna do no shit like that. You know, none of those guys. You know, Jermaine Ortiz, I ain't gonna say he trash because he lost. Carlos Castro, the dude that lost to Bruce Carrington, I'm not gonna say he trash because he lost. No, we ain't on that. You know, those dudes is great. They just came up short to better fighters. It's really that simple. But that was a great card. You said Shakur is talented but boring. Terrible for pay-per-view. That's cap. You know, it's just like I said, man. It's all about, you know. It's like when a fighter is really, really good, it's like there has to be haters. There has to be somebody who's going to say bullshit, because I don't see how Shakur is boring, though. Because it's like he boxes at a very high level. You know, he has all the skills and fundamentals. How is that boring? Because he didn't knock somebody out? Like, everybody's not going to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that. And then the thing about it is, if you feel that way about Shakur Stevenson, you better feel that way about Dimitri Bivol, because he's a bigger guy than Shakur. Pause. He don't knock niggas out either. He does the same thing Shakur Stevenson does. He's a boxer. He boxes your head off. He doesn't really knock you out. The man only has 12 knockouts, and he's a 175-pounder. When you think of a 175-pounder, you would think they'll have more than 12 knockouts. You would think. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if you feel that way about Shakur Stevenson, you better feel that way about Dimitri Bivol. Because I know they only call black fighters boring. They're not going to say that about a non-black fighter. Because if Josh Kelly was black, they'd be saying he was a runner, the guy that beat Murder earlier. But they're not going to do that because he's not black. So I understand that. So if you feel that way about Shakur, you better feel that way about Bivol, because Bivol does the same thing. He fights off the back foot. He has great defense. He has a great jab. He doesn't really knock niggas out, but he will box your head off, just like Shakur. So if you feel that way about Shakur, you better feel that way about him. And if you don't, then I know what time it is. You dig? Like I said, I'm a real boxing fan. I appreciate the sport for real. I'm not a casual. I don't have to see a knockout to be entertained, because I really fuck with boxing. See, you guys is casuals. You IBFP guys, you guys are casuals. Y'all don't really fuck with boxing like that. If a knockout don't happen in the fight, you niggas is bored, because you niggas are not real boxing fans. You guys are casuals. You dig? So I can't even respect y'all opinion on what's boring or not, because it's like, you guys are not really into boxing. You guys are casuals, bro. You guys are casuals. You guys ain't boxing fans for real. Straight up. So we want to end it on that. Ring 6 was lit. Great fights. Shout out to the winners. We the best. And I'm out. On to the next one. Y'all be chill out there. Stay smooth.